tried. Yeah, she's a black woman. Hi, and welcome to the show. Again, we thank God that you can view the show anywhere in your house. We're just excited that you can watch, and hopefully we've been bringing you information that's been informing you not only because we're in recovery mode for Katrina, but now we're in recovery mode for Hurricane Isaac. So we're thanking God for the volunteers that are here. Mm-hmm. They're already on the ground. They're helping. They still need more volunteers. You may want to become a volunteer in doing something. Somebody said, what can you do? Well, being there to assist. I think there's a story that one of the individuals, their house got flooded, and instead of them worrying about their flooded house, they became a volunteer. And they said when it gets to the point where they help a lot of people, good therapy, when they help a lot of people, they're going to go back and then they're going to tackle the problem with their house. But again, we just thank God for those volunteers that see a need in a time of disaster. But we're praying because we know in times of disasters, we don't always get volunteers that want to help. Sometimes we get wolves in sheep clothing to come and victimize the people that have been victimized by the hurricane. Again, we thank God for our co-host, the Reverend Darrell Smith. He has a saying that I don't know if he's been doing it. What's your saying?
On air, WYLD AM. The PM pastor, from 3 to 7, I'll take you home in style with a smile.
And so I think because he has his foot on the ground, a witness of not only Hurricane Bessie, Katrina, but now he's a witness of Hurricane Isaac. What kind of information you have for us
today?
When
we were let me say this. Let me go again in chronological order. Just remember a couple of weeks ago, before this storm or hurricane happened, I mentioned the fact that have a game plan, like the state always says, be prepared to have everything ready for when something does happen. And so for those who did adhere to that, we say God bless you, because it's always good to be prepared to know what's going on. And again, for those who are still in the midst of what's going on, we're still praying for you. I also want to make mention that as that time, Clear Channel had united with all seven radio stations.
I like that.
Yeah, and we came together. We had the hip hop, the gospel, the R&B, the politically talk radio, the country, and the rock station. All came together, and one cause was just to give updates for Isaac. You know, so we did that as a collective body. And so I manned the phones, and at one time I was working the board and everything. But I played my fair share with it, and I was happy to be a part. And that way, I was also, like I say, on the feet on the ground.
First responder.
I was like a first responder and everything. Yeah. So we just thank God that even though things happened, that it didn't happen too major. It happened enough. But I do want to share some announcements, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
I want to share that Louisiana Freeman Missionary Baptist General Association's Evangelical Board will have an event. It's a conference on evangelism. Reverend Eric Layton is the board president, and Reverend Lewis S. Jones is the general president of the Louisiana Freeman Missionary Baptist General Association. And Minister Najee Johnson is the event coordinator. Now, this conference on evangelism will be taking place September the 26th through the 28th, and it starts at 5:15 and it'll go on to 9 p.m. 5:15 to 6:10, they'll be doing witnessing, and from 6:15 to 7:15, they'll have classes, and then from 7:20, they'll have worship, and service begins. So the Wednesday, they're going to have Pastor Marvin Turner of the Mount Ararat Baptist Church, and he was a guest on our show a couple of weeks ago and everything.
He was one of the recipients that work with us with churches supporting churches.
Amen. CSC. Amen. And Thursday, they'll have Pastor Jamal Weathersby of the True Vine Baptist Church of West Wego, and we know that was a church that Reverend Dr. Arthur Piper was the pastor of. Yeah.
No, that's not the same.
That's not the same church, West Wego? Oh, True Vine? Oh, that was the other Robinson, yeah, right,
yes.
Okay. And then there's Friday, Pastor Isaac Stewart of New Birth Baptist Church, and that's on Louisa Street. Thank you for correcting me right there.
Right.
It's New Hope in Gretna.
New Hope in Gretna.
In Gretna, not Westwego, yeah. Mm-hmm. But I still give honor to Dr. Piper.
Yes, you do. You're absolutely right.
You know. Also, the host church will be happening at Second Mount Calvary Baptist Church, 2820 4th Street, and Reverend Robert Myers is the pastor. It's the host pastor. Mm-hmm. So we'll tell you more about that as it comes up close. And another announcement I'd like to make, it's about a free mentoring program, and so parents and youth, they're going to have an information night. It's going to be Wednesday, October the 3rd at the St. David Parish Hall, and that's going to be from 6:30 to 8 p.m. And so if you need more information on that, we can share with you to call Nashan Butler at 504-310-8764. That's 310-8764, Association with Catholic Charities in the Archdiocese of New Orleans. So that's a free mentoring program, and it's called Isaiah 43. Before I introduce my guest, let me share this short situation, a short story.
Editorial, please.
No, it's not editorial. It's a short story. When I was thinking about, we're getting back to Reverend Piper, you know. I remember went to his anniversary, and during that time, Reverend Stewart was there, and Reverend Jean-Jacques, Pastor Jean-Jacques, and all them were there. And so I was happy to, you know, introduce my wife at the time. She still is my wife. And as I introduced her, I said, you don't have to get up, just wave your hand, just, you know, like that. And so I saw where she was sitting in the middle and everything. She raised her hand. But it took Pastor Isaac Stewart to say this. He says, Smith, he said, when you asked your wife to raise her hand, they had 4 or 5 other women in the back. And they raised their hands. So I was like, oh.
Who was your wife?
Yeah. And it just so happens that the ladies in the back didn't hear me say for my wife to wave.
They say, Pastor Smith.
and all they heard was somebody say, wave your hand. They just waved their hand, you know. So I just wanted to make sure. But I do recall Reverend.
Tell our viewing audience your wife's name so other.
Oh, so it's Joanne Harton Smith.
Thank God, so other people won't be lifting up their hand.
Yeah, raising their hand. But I do want to acknowledge our guest, and she's a dear friend, and so she's no stranger to us here, but she comes in this form as an author. We've known her before as giving us information about the National Urban League, and also a book that she's written, but now she comes again as our guest, and on Slash sometimes she's our co-host when I'm out. So I'd like to reintroduce Darnetta Mahaffy. So we say, welcome back.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Welcome
Thank you.
back.
We're going to talk a little bit about the hurricane, but we really want to talk about your book. Just start highlighting some things, because does the hurricane affect the information that's in your book? Because when things happen, can your book help with a disaster mode?
Yes, my book can help in that mode. When that book was written, it was written under divine inspiration. And the book was written to help people understand the mental secret of life. And the mental secret of life is, in actuality, realizing what you think is what you get. So if you don't think of anything, you get nothing. And then oftentimes what you get is something you didn't realize you were thinking about.
Could you tell us the name of the book? I know we know it, but can you share that with the audience? The name of the book.
Yes. The name of the book is This Falling Dollar, The Mental Secret of Life. Will it help you or kill you? This is all about the dollar. It's the real spill on the dollar bill.
I like that. And I know the book was written a couple of years ago.
Yes, it's about, 2 years now. But I've actually, you know, over the years I've done quite a bit of teaching in regards to the contents of the book. It all had to do with, one, is the dollar really a dollar? Then 3 to 1 and the power of the penny. So I've done, you know, many, Christians and their money matters, and it was just basic concepts for living. Because oftentimes we take a dollar and we think it's a really great sense of security, but a dollar is actually, when you don't understand a dollar, it's a false sense of security. So when we talk about is the dollar really a dollar, it has to do with what is that dollar in your pocket. So if you're employed, you know you have various taxes and you have various deductions. You have various fees. So by the time you get that dollar, is it really a dollar? Okay, and then we talk about 3 to 1, meaning that the average person actually get no more than 25 to perhaps 46 cents of their dollar's value to live on. And with that being said, I talk about the power of the penny. Oftentimes people look at the green dollar bill when they fail to realize the power of the penny. So, and I use a simple analogy. If you were to slice an apple open and I say, well, how many seeds do you see? You can actually tell me. I see, what, 4 seeds, whatever. But I want to say this. Can you tell me how many apples you see in the seed? And that was
powerful.
That was the importance of being able to relate this information to our everyday living. So each time I'm asked to share information about the book, I have to listen to what people are saying to me, and then I have to think about what's going on around us. So when I thought about it today, what would I share from the book? It would be the basic chapter on minding your own business. And I want to say that in a proper sense, not like you're being nosy, but minding your own business is understanding the importance of not giving so much of yourself to someone else's business. You know, oftentimes when we're employed or notified that we've been hired, we give so much of our time to that business, not realizing that we're giving all of ourselves to someone else's vision. So understanding the purpose of employment is to help you get resources to actually help you bring your dream to fruition. But oftentimes people become accustomed to someone else's business, and that becomes their lifestyle, and it becomes so disappointed when that could come to an end. So it's most important that you not only have a place of employment, but that you also employment. You know, render a service, start a business. You know, right now, post-storms, post-hurricanes are great times to start a business.
Well, you're saying something that I think a lot of people don't really pay attention to, and we can look at it as a divine work of God, and that even in disasters, God can produce blessings.
Oh, yeah.
Even in disasters, because as you said, after the disaster, there's a cleanup.
Yes.
So somebody has to come clean up. Will the cleanup be done by local people that know the area, or will the cleanup be done by people that's outside of the area and come and say, well, as you said, I'm going to work for you, instead of me saying, well, look, I need to clean up. So who better can clean up my area than the person that knows that area? I need that contract. I'll use that as a contract, that contract of cleaning up. Why? And believe it or not, I can tell you, according to the Stafford Act, that's what's supposed to be done. The indigenous people supposed to have the right to clean up their area first before people from outside. If there's nobody else locally that can do it, then you reach outside. But that helps build that community back, because all our money is going out. Then what better way to get your money back than working and cleaning up your community? And I had to talk to you about the importance of what you're saying about it. There are some people saying, I don't want to go into business. I don't mind working for somebody else. How do you talk to people about that, and saying creating a business is not only good for you, but it's beneficial, because if you have children, what legacy are you going to leave for those children?
Exactly. I mean, it's nothing wrong with working with people. In actuality, any company that is employing you, actually you're partnering with that company. You know, so you're already in business. It's just that you didn't understand it from a business standpoint. So the same effort that it takes for you to get up in the morning and go and serve someone else in their business is the same effort that it takes for you to get up and go and do something for yourself. So oftentimes you experience hearing people losing their minds and jumping through windows and taking their lives and the lives of others because of their disappointment with what their employer told them, that their services are no longer needed. Well, the way I was raised was the mindset that we were all born the same way, buck naked. So
I guess that's true.
Yeah, we were all born, the same way. Whether you're male or female, you were born into the world the same way.
Naked, you came into the world.
I had to ask the question: what was the difference between the person in the Amazon living in the in the Amazon and the person living in the 5-star you know, penthouses and everything. And as I saw